Hi there, Jesse Bradman here with KickPort International. We're here today to talk about the installation of the FX ports on your drum heads. So the tools that you're going to need, we have right here. We've got a X-Acto knife, or your cutting tool of choice, a pen, and a Sharpie. You can kind of use either a pen or a Sharpie. When you take your FX ports out of the package, make sure and hang on to the header card, because on the back is the measuring guide, and that's going to help you determine the location of where you're going to put the port on the drum head. So referring to the measurement guide on the inside of the header card, you're going to see various arrows, and they relate to how big your drum head is. So what we're going to do, this is a 14-inch drum head. We're going to flip it batter side down, take the measurement guide, line it up with a metal hoop, and you'll see that I'm aiming this towards the center of the drum. And since this is the 14, I see where the arrow is, I'm going to mark right under that. And this is where I'm going to actually cut the hole. Okay, now we have the location marked where the hole's going to be. Grab your FX T-ring, peel off the backer to expose the adhesive, put it right over so there's just a little bit of the ink exposed. Just so you know, because it's easy to forget, we're on the inside of the drum head. So this is a mirror image, right? So when you flip it around, you know, we're at 1 o'clock here, and we like it at 11 o'clock on the drum head. So just be aware of that. Now we're ready to cut the hole. Grab your cutting tool of choice. This is an X-Acto knife. Punch right through the middle. Go very slowly to the ring. Using the ring as a guide, go very slowly and cut out the middle. And when you're done, just use the knife to clean out the edges so it's a nice clean hole. Now grab your second FXT ring, remove the adhesive, line it right up with the hole. Look like this. Now we've got both rings on the head, we're ready to install the FX port. You'll notice on this 12-inch rack tom head that we're using a thinner ring than we're using for the snare. And then over here, of course, we have a 16-inch floor tom head, and that's where the 2-inch port goes in. So for the FX1 or FX2 ports, same installation process. Back to the snare drum, and we're ready to install the port. So here are the parts. We've got the rubber collar, and we've got the 1-inch port here with the rubber gasket on it. Slide it right through the top. I find it easier to turn it over. Grab the collar, push over the top. Make sure when you push the collar on that it goes past the middle ridge, which locks the collar in place. To make sure it's there, what I do is I put my fingernail between the rubber and the ridge, and I make sure it's seated. And now you're ready to go. Install the head, tune it up, and you're ready to rock. So for the rack tom and the floor tom, the installation is exactly the same. I have my 16-inch floor tom here. I put the port in the top, put it on its back, snaps into place, ready to install, tune, and you're ready to roll. Alright, we've talked about the rest of the drums. Let's talk now about installing the port on the batter side of the bass drum. You'll notice that the FX2BD port for the bass drum is a bit different than the 2-inch floor tom port. Here there's some foam on the bottom. Make sure when you put the port in the drum head that the K is lined up at exactly 6 o'clock. Having the K at 6 o'clock will ensure that the foam's at the bottom, and that will avoid any contact between the mylar and the plastic, which could cause a buzz. So keeping in mind where the top of the bass drum is, so you can make sure your foam's aligned properly on the bottom. Grab your collar, flip it over the back, make sure it's past the middle ridge, install, tune, and you're ready to play.